enough to have kids. Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. I'm Vanessa Canby. Today I'm going to bring you the realities of being a young mum. So this is a video I've wanted to do for a very long time because I feel like there's a lot of things that are kind of unique to being a young mum, or just these are the experiences that I have had. I had my son when I was 20, which really and truly that isn't that young. Back in the day that was the norm, but I think people these days seem to be focusing more on focusing more on their careers before having a baby, so people are having babies more into their 30s. So I guess that is now considered as being a young mum. I'm now 25 and I've got two kids. I've got Maya, who is 20 months old, and I've got Oscar, who is 5 years old. So the absolute first biggest thing about being a young mum is that your friends probably don't have kids. Your siblings' friends probably don't have kids. You're probably the first person out of your friends group or even your year group that is going to be having kids. So it can get lonely and it can be quite difficult in that sense. If you're older, if you're like say in your 30s, you're probably more likely to have a friend that's already had a baby, or a couple of your friends might be pregnant at exactly the same time. So, you know, you're used to like the baby sort of community and you know how it is to have a kid. You've probably held your other friends' kids. I feel like I'd never held a baby before I had my own. No, I had I think when I was younger I had held babies, but not really. I wasn't an experienced mum. So in that sense it can be difficult. Not only that, but in the friend sense, obviously your friends are not, this is a big one, are not going to understand what it's like to have kids. So they might not want to hang about with you. I guess that's just the reality of it. It's not exactly fun. It's fun for like the first few times for them to come over and like hold your baby. Oh, so cute. Oh my gosh, you're making me feel so broody. Like I really want what? You know, just looking at them like, you know what? Do you want to just take mine for like a couple nights and I can have some sleep and you can experience what it's like to be a mum? Well, that would be cool. It rubs off, doesn't it? Like, they don't want to, well, some friends do, but a lot of friends, they don't want to be with their friends with kids all the time. They want to like live their life. You can't exactly go out every weekend to clubs, to bars. You're gonna be at the playgroup with your child. Number two, you're on your phone. This is also in the friends category. You're on your phone on a Friday night scrolling and everybody is out clubbing and taking shots and drinking alcohol. For me, I don't really drink alcohol, so it actually just makes me feel sick when I see people like taking shots on Insta stories or Snapchat. I'm just like, I'm literally in bed and it makes me want to puke, especially when I'm with my baby, because I'm like, oh my god, the thought of drinking alcohol makes me feel sick. I'm so tired, but it's difficult because you're not out and it does start to chip away at you. You can initially be like, oh, I don't even want to be out, but then there'll be some nights that you do actually want to go to that you're not able to go to because you've got a child. Okay, I'm gonna cover like the sort of like more negative things first, then I'm gonna get onto the positives, so stay with me. The next one of my absolute favorites is when people say to you, oh, what are you up to today? I've actually got a video about this, I'll link it below. An actual example. What are you up to today? And they expect you to say something along the lines of going to school, or people think I'm really young for some reason, or going to university or whatever, and I'm like, oh, just going to pick my kids up from school, and they're like, are you even old enough to have kids? That is the most annoying thing that somebody could ever say to you. Some people think it's meant to be some sort of a compliment, but really and truly, if I've got kids, I'm old enough to have kids. Like, come on, like please, that one needs to go. That comment just needs to be scrunched up and thrown into the bin. Sometimes you're gonna get weird looks, like I literally couldn't care less what people think about me or me and my kids, especially because they both look different. My son's darker, my daughter's like lighter slash looks just completely white. People think she's not mine anyway, which is just another story, but I just don't care. Like, but if you are somebody that cares about those things, you just have to prepare yourself that people will probably stare at you, because people have their own issues and just like to be horrible to other people. And they might not even be being horrible, they might just be like looking at you to think, they might be thinking something positive, like, oh wow, look at her, like she's young, she's like, you know, doing her thing, she's got 2 kids, she's doing really well. They might also be thinking like, oh my god, look at her, she's so young. Now I'm gonna get on to the pros of having kids whilst being young. By the way, I'm not having a dig at anybody who's like older and having kids. I'm just focusing on my experience and all the rest of it. I feel like when you're young and you're a mum, you're like a bit more carefree because you're young. You're not so, this might just depend on personality, but personally for me, I had my son, I was at university, I had exams 2 weeks later, and I did it. Like I didn't think twice about it. I literally gave birth to my son, looked after him, had my exams, did my research and everything when he was sleeping, and then I did my exams and it was no big deal. Now that I'm a bit older, like 5 years older, I feel like, how could I do that? I think also because now I've got 2, but I just feel like the older you get, the more you overthink things, and it's not just like you're growing up with the child, it's more like they're your child. Obviously they're still your child, but when you're younger, just a bit more carefree. Also, when you're young, when I was young, I mean I'm still kind of young, but when I was 20 and had my son, like I still lived my life. I was at university, I was modelling, and I did go out sometimes and enjoyed my life. More when he was 1, like for the first year, I was still modelling and at university, so he did have to go into nursery. So you can continue your life when you're a young mum and still have a good career if you have childcare, whether that be parents or family members or nursery. Because I was on my own in London, I had to use a nursery, and some people might try and make you feel guilty about that, but you still have to live your life. And if it's for the benefit of your child, you know, in the long run, so you can have money to provide for them and your own mental health, you can't just, you know, it's hard to be with a child 24 hours a day. Trust me, I'm doing it now. So you can continue your life as a young mum. Now I find it much harder than when I was 20. Another experience that I've had as a young mum is definitely that I had more energy the younger I was. So when I was 20, I had like way more energy than I have now at 25, having another one. I don't know if that's just because it's the second one, but honestly, I just feel like I had so much more energy when I was younger than now to just do everything. Another reality might be that people think that you're just like on benefits and stuff like that, when I mean that's not the case for everyone. Obviously some people have to use benefits if they're in like times of need, but not every young mum is on benefits. Like that is just, it's not a good assumption, especially if people are working really hard. Thanks for watching this realities of being a young mum. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you did, and let me know your realities of being a young mum in the link below. Thanks guys.